Midnight struck, and the Crawford Mansion whispered my name. Every shadow in the hall seemed alive, every creak of the floorboards a warning. And I realized too late, I was not alone. At midnight, the Crawford Mansion stood silent, looming like a shadow against the pale moonlight. I had always laughed at stories of haunted houses, dismissing them as childish tales, but now, standing in front of its towering gates, I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. The wind whispered my name as if the house itself recognized my presence. The iron gate creaked open on its own, inviting me into the darkness beyond. Every instinct screamed for me to turn back, yet I stepped forward. The hallways inside were vast and empty, the floorboards groaning beneath every step. Shadows stretched along the cracked walls like dark fingers, moving with a life of their own. Dust hung in the air, swirling in the thin beam of my flashlight. As I walked deeper, I heard whispers soft, almost melodic, yet chilling. They seemed to come from every corner at once, echoing through the long corridors. My heart raced. Each room I entered revealed more signs of abandonment and neglect. Furniture covered in white sheets, broken mirrors reflecting distorted versions of myself, and portraits whose eyes seemed to follow me as I moved. I reached the grand staircase, its polished wood worn with age. A faint humming came from the attic above, drawing me upward despite my fear. With each step, the temperature dropped, and my breath formed clouds in the air. The attic door loomed in front of me, its hinges squealing as I pushed it open. Inside, the space was empty, or so it seemed. Shadows twisted in corners, refusing to settle. The humming grew louder, forming words I could barely understand. Stay. Never leave. A chill ran through me, freezing every muscle in my body. Books began to fall from shelves as though unseen hands were tossing them. Chairs scraped across the floor, and the portraits on the walls tilted slightly, their eyes now wide and unnervingly lifelike. I stumbled backward, feeling the oppressive air press against me. Whispers became voices, low and urgent, calling my name over and over. I turned to run, but the hallways stretched impossibly, doors leading nowhere, shadows shifting as if alive. My flashlight flickered, revealing fleeting shapes darting across the walls, figures that were not quite human, yet not entirely intangible. At the center of the mansion, a large mirror reflected the hallway behind me. It was not empty. A dark figure stood just beyond my reflection, faceless, tall, and still. Every instinct told me to run, but my legs refused to move. The figure tilted its head, and a dry, hollow laugh echoed through the halls. I felt eyes on me from every direction, and then the whisper came again, this time directly into my ear. You should not be here. I forced myself forward, descending another set of stairs to the lower floor. The basement was colder still, the air thick with the scent of damp wood and something else, something rotten, almost metallic. A single candle flickered at the far end, revealing shadows that seemed to creep along the walls, independent of any light source. Objects shifted when I wasn't looking. A table leg moved slightly, a chair slid, and a door slammed shut in the distance. I felt the weight of unseen hands brushing past me, and the whispers intensified into urgent, uni teri jiguri, budu muru. In the deepest part of the basement, I found a small, dusty study. Papers were scattered, some burnt at the edges, others filled with illegible handwriting. A diary lay open on the desk, detailing strange occurrences in the house spanning decades. Doors opening and closing, voices in empty rooms, shadows that followed inhabitants, and warnings about a presence that thrived in fear. My hands trembled as I read, realizing that I was now part of the same story, the same curse that had trapped generations before me. A sudden cold gust extinguished the candle, plunging me into darkness. My flashlight flickered violently, and I heard footsteps running above me, fast, deliberate, impossible to locate. The walls seemed to pulse with energy, shadows stretching and contracting like breathing entities. I screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the thick air. Then, silence, a deafening, unnatural silence. I stumbled toward a staircase that I thought led outside, but the hallway twisted impossibly, doors and corridors appearing where none should exist. The mansion had become a maze, each step disorienting. Whispers now merged into a cacophony of voices, a chorus of all who had been trapped before me. My heart pounded in my chest, my mind teetering on the edge of sanity. I collapsed in a small parlor, gasping for air. A mirror on the wall reflected the room, but behind me, I saw something impossible. Dozens of shadowy figures, all faceless, all watching. The fear was paralyzing. I wanted to scream, but no sound escaped. My body shook uncontrollably. The whispers formed a single phrase, repeated in every voice, from every shadow, "You will never leave." If you're still watching, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and imagine yourself in that mansion, alone, surrounded by shadows that know your every thought. I somehow found the courage to reach the front doors. They stood before me, enormous and imposing, yet I felt a strange, pole and invisible force resisting my escape. The wind whispered once more, my name carried on it, and I stumbled forward. The door swung open with a creak, revealing the moonlit night outside. I ran, never looking back, though I could feel the house watching, breathing, alive. But even now at night, when the wind moans through empty streets, I hear faint whispers softly, urgently calling my name. And I know, in the depths of my mind, that the Crawford Mansion waits. It waits for the next curious soul. Would you dare spend a night there? Comment below. If you want more true horror stories, LIKE. This video, subscribe, and turn on notifications.